Hey, my happy shiny puppies. This is Melody Fletcher, your go-to for everything law of attraction and reality creation. And today I've got a treat for you. What follows is an excerpt from one of our live Q and A calls where people just like you, students just like you, were able to ask me questions and I answered them. And today you're going to get one of those. And as you see in the coming weeks, we're going to be rolling out more and more of these. And if you'd like the chance to be a part of one of these Q and A calls for free, then stay to the end of the video and I'm going to tell you exactly how to do that. All right, I'll see you on the other side. Bye.
So the big question is this: how do we, those of us who feel deep down that we're much more powerful than we've been led to believe, and that there is something to this law of attraction stuff, actually create our own realities? What's the process of simply stepping into the reality of our choice? What about those of us who need this process to make logical, intellectual sense? My name is Melody Fletcher. You've got questions about the technology of reality, and I've got the answers. Welcome to my channel where the law of attraction finally makes some freaking sense.
Okay.
Yes!
Okay.
Welcome, Joan.
Thank you. Happy to be here. I just this moment told Tina that my questions had been answered, and she said, think of another one possibly. And I'm like, I can't think of another one. But maybe there's a bit more clarity. I don't know that I could get from this. I want to be an uplifter. I enjoy talking to people who want to talk about LOA when they do. But I seem to attract people who want to go on and on about their problems, and I don't quite know what to do in that situation. Part of me thinks, don't keep those people as your friends. And then part of me is like, yeah, but you want to be an uplifter. So how do you take responsibility for yourself?
Oh, there's that word, responsibility.
For yourself, your own vibration.
Yeah. What does it mean to you to be an uplifter?
I think feeling free to talk about my own positive experience with LOA and I guess help shift other people's energy. But that's kind of my question. Should I even want to do that? Or is it better just to say, wow, they're not there. I shouldn't, I shouldn't stay
so let
here.
me explain what it is that you're doing when you're uplifting. And this comes perfectly into the conversation that we had before about, holding energy for people.
Yeah.
And not being able to control in their reality, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So when you are uplifting someone, what you are essentially doing is you've put up your hand voluntarily and said, hey, universe, when someone's ready to be uplifted, when they're ready to manifest upliftment into their life, I would like to be the delivery mechanism. I would like to be the delivery girl for that, please.
Okay.
Yeah? And the universe goes, hey, Joan, we got a person over here in your vicinity. Yeah? Kind of like Tinder for uplifting.
Great analogy.
Oh, the first time. Oh, cool.
Okay, now I really want to get off of it.
Like Tinder for good. I could have made it worse. I could have said grinder, right? Yeah, but for uplifting, right? It's like, who is in my vicinity? Dude who's ready to be uplifted, right? Because they got to be up for it.
Yeah.
Just like on Tinder and Grindr. And it's their manifestation. You can't manifest. You can't go, I shall uplift you, dear person, because you are in need of uplifting. That is never, ever going to work. Which is when somebody comes to you and goes on and on and on about the same shit, different day, and it never shifts, and it's not fun for you. Yeah. Then you ask yourself, well, am I not supposed to? Because maybe I can make them feel better. Is it happening? No. Is it working? No. Is it fun for you? No. Which means this is not a situation where the universe went, hey, I got a person for you over here. Perfect volunteer, brought together, perfect match. Now what you put up your hand for is, I'm not entirely certain that I get to say no to people, and still be a good person and be an uplifter. So just bring me anyone who I think needs to be uplifted, whether it works out or not. And the universe goes, okay, if that's what you want to put in your profile to become a match to, I'm not going to stop you because you're the boss of your reality. You will get it. Yeah. But it's also kind of like, you really like this, do you? You like that? Maybe you want to change that profile a little bit. Is this fun for you? This bitching and whining all over the place with nothing ever happening. Is this fun for you? Is this what you want? Or do you want something else? Yeah. Because you get what you want. You get what you don't always get what you want. You get what you focus upon. You get what you're willing to put up with. Yeah. When you know how to do this, you get what you want, because then you choose to focus on what you want. and give yourself that. And so do not hesitate to walk away from somebody who is not fun for you, because that is not what you want. It's not that perfect alignment where you said, hey, someone who's ready to be uplifted, this person is ready to be uplifted. You come together, you uplift them. You're the delivery mechanism for their manifestation. It works out for both of you. You both have a great time. It feels really good. Hearts are open. Wonderful, wonderful. Yeah, that's what you're after. And that is not that.
Right.
Yeah?
Okay.
And so you got to get good at walking away from shit like that, because and then once you're good at walking away from it, you don't have to. So the last time I had to do this wasn't hard because I was basically there. And I'm a helper from way back. I am a sacrificer, I used to pull my battle axe out and go to onto the battlefield for you, whether you asked me to or not, whether you thanked me or not. It was all my battle to fight, and everybody was weaker than me, and I was the only one who could handle it. It's really arrogant, actually. Yeah, and I had to get in there and fight, and I had to help everybody. I picked up every stray I could find. My friends were not my friends. I was their friend. They were not my friend. They weren't even capable of being a friend to anyone. And that was my life for a long time. So let that give you some hope, knowing where I came from, which was really bad, to being able to set boundaries very well. So I was at a conference, and I was in a mastermind group, and there was a lady in the mastermind group who was, quite frankly, a little annoying, if I was going to be honest. She was a little annoying. She was doing some kind of a business where, it had to do with food, and she clearly hadn't cleared any of her food issues. She was just controlling herself, white knuckling it, right? And just constantly eating and rustling, and needed a lot of attention from everyone around her all the time. And I had noticed this before, but I never really got anywhere near her. And one day we were on break, and I go back to get a cup of tea, and she comes up to me. She goes, Melody, you and I have never really talked. And I turn towards her, and it's just a black hole. It is just a black hole. Nothing I say or do for this woman is going to take any hold at all. It's just a black hole. Not fun. So for me, not fun, not fun, not fun. Warning bells going off. This is not going to be fun for you. This is a black hole. And I looked at her and I said, I'm really sorry. I really have to go to the bathroom. It's like an emergency at this point. And I start to walk away. She keeps talking to me. She's like, yeah, but blah, 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 right? And just as I'm stepping away from her, I started laughing, and I'm like, I'm really sorry. Yeah, but I have to go to the bathroom. She goes, yeah, I heard you. And I thought that was the funniest shit, because in that moment she was saying, yeah, I don't care how you feel. I don't care if you're in pain. I don't care if this is what you want or not. And I did have to go to the bathroom. It wasn't as big of an emergency as I was making out, but I did have to go to the bathroom. And I didn't want to be rude, because I wasn't going to teach her anything. I wasn't going to enlighten her. I wasn't going to get her to become aware by me going, look, no, like there was no point in any of that. So I wasn't going to be, too honest about it. I was going to be like, I'm just getting away from you, using some excuse. And the beautiful part of it is that this is the last time I ever had to do that. I haven't had to do that since. Yeah. Because I'm very willing to. And here was a person that a few years before, I would have stood there, I would have had dinner with her, I would have talked to her, I would have sacrificed myself for her. Yeah. And this was just, nope, you are not fun for me. Nope, you're not going to hear a word I say. You're not a good friend for me. You're not a good, anything kind of partner for me. You're not somebody I'm going to have fun with in any way, shape, or form. And you see, it becomes less about you needing to help people. There's that responsibility, and you simply wanting to engage with them in that way when it's fun to do so, which means the timing is perfect, that person is ready for it. Yeah. So you could say, universe, I like to uplift. I volunteer to uplift those who are ready to be uplifted. You could also say, universe, I love to do whatever activity, insert here. I was just going to make it really funny and sexual, but then I realized this is going to be public, so probably not. Yeah. Yeah, but it doesn't have to be a worthy activity is what I'm saying. This isn't just because it's a worthy activity that helps others. It could be, universe, I love it when people throw pizza parties, and I always want to be invited to pizza parties. And, I volunteer for that. When everybody has a pizza party, I would like to come, we're matched to that. It is not because it's a valuable or worthy activity that it's like this. It's like this for everything. You're volunteering for everything all the time. And now the question is, what do you want to volunteer for? And what do you think you should volunteer for or have to volunteer for, which has no merit at all. It is only that there's no extra value in that, and usually less value, because then the timing isn't perfect. The alignment isn't perfect. Now it's not fun for you, which means it's not benefiting anyone as much as you were hoping it would. When it's perfectly aligned, it's easy, there's no drama, and it benefits everyone much more so. Isn't that a beautiful system that we have fucked up royally?
Yeah, well, Catholicism kind of helped. That's my background too, with the nuns, the whole thing. So yes.
Yeah, suffering is good. The more you suffer, the more value you bring. It's all screwy. It's the better it feels, the more value you bring. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you're putting up your hands and you're letting universal Tinder. I'm going to use that all the time now. Letting it, orchestrate the match. Yeah. And when it's a good match, then you have fun. And when it's not a good match, you don't have fun. And now it's up to you to discern whether or not, why are you putting up with the not good match? Why are you, willing to subject yourself to that? Oh, because I thought I had to. Oh, well, did it work? Has it ever worked? Have you ever fixed anyone's life from that point of view? No. It's just been frustrating and hard for you. Yeah. And so it doesn't work. This works.
Yeah.
This works. Yeah.
Fantastic. Yeah. Yeah. Completely. Thank you.
So you have full permission to basically tell people to fuck off. I could have just said that.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you very much for playing.
Yeah.
Look at you made it all the way to the end of the video. Good for you. So if you'd like a chance to be part of these Q&A calls that we do for free, then all you have to do is get onto my email list. People on my email list get free gifts like this. In fact, I'll even give you another free gift for getting onto my email list, which changes periodically. So I'm not going to tell you what it is so that I can change it, but just check the description down below. Get onto my email list, get your valuable free gift, and you will be invited to take part of one of these Q&A calls yourself where you can ask me whatever you want. Sound like a good deal? I think so. So sign up now, get invited to Q&A call, and get your own answers. Until then, enjoy the videos every week. Thank you for bringing your light to the world. Bye.